On the Retro Show today, dude sounds like Luigi when he fell.
And smile with your eyes and your mouth.
The Princess Zelda.
Okay.
In the end, she lost in battle.
No, we never know when it's going to start filming. Oh, hi Chip Dippers.
Oh, yes. Hello, Chip Dippers. Welcome to Retro Recipes and welcome to the Retro Show. This is a new semi-regular format. Now, we're always going to be doing the retro recipes that you know and love, but the Retro Show...
The Retro Show.
...is not to be confused with any of the other cool retro-based shows that are out there. The more the merrier, we say. But I've put link in the... I put link from Zelda. I put links to all of those other cool shows in the description, so you can check those out if you enjoy this. And if I've missed one, feel free to drop me a comment and I'll add it too.
Link. You come to town. Come to save the Princess Zelda.
Is that from the game?
It is a... You can find it online. People think it's actually System of a Down singing that song, but it's a rock and roll version of
It's based on the game?
Yeah, it talks about... Yeah, I'll play it for you later,
Okay.
Don't worry.
Well, why don't we just listen to it now? Oh no, copyright.
The Retro Show.
It's hard to roll your tongue and only do 2 R's, but it's 2 R's retro recipes. And we're going to be looking at a few things in every episode, Recipode. We're going to be looking at old news. Old news.
Old news.
That's old news. We're going to be looking at some delicious nostalgia flakes, diving into a bowl of those and seeing your nostalgic photos and videos. We'll also be looking at HomeBrews from
HomeBrews.
Old news to HomeBrews with your homebrew games that you guys have sent in. And we'll round every episode up with I See What You Meme.
I see what you mean.
Old news, looking at some retro memes. We're going to have a lot of fun with that. However, so if you are watching this Recipode, then we have hit 100,000 subscribers. Woohoo! Now, we filmed this 7 years ago, ready for this moment. No, just kidding. It's been 3 years, actually, which is not bad. I thought it would take a lot longer because it's kind of a niche subject matter, retro.
Yeah.
But we made it. So literally moments ago, we watched the subscriber counter ping over to 100,000. And it's one of those speechless moments. What I can say is that everything we do here is based on the happiness of childhood nostalgia and just trying to keep that alive, sort of one video at a time. And it just means so much that you guys have shown that you appreciate that.
It's one of those things that we couldn't have done it without you guys. And so in honor of you guys, 100,000 of you have subscribed to this channel. I think that this is really appropriate to start out with,
with Puppy Fracted crushing you to death.
We're so appreciative, and there are no words other than thank you.
And that's kind of why we're doing this format. This is to give back to you guys, looking at your photos, your homebrews, and all that jazz. Or we won't have any jazz, will we? But I thought it'd be fun to have a quick reminder of where it started. Do you remember my first video?
There's been so many.
There has been a lot. I think over 170 or something now.
Wow.
Let's have a quick look at where it all started. So the Commodore 64 Power Surge protection video.
I remember this.
Here he is. Hey guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. So, didn't say Chip Dippers. I'm going to show you a little hack that I found out about on Jan Beta's
Oh, we love Jan Beta.
YouTube channel. It's Jan Beta. It's a way to protect the Commodore 64 from a power surge caused on the 5-volt line that can come from the older Commodore 64 power supplies. Well, we get the general idea with that, but the set has definitely... I'm over there too. The set's definitely changed and improved a bit over time as well. Not a wobbly camera anymore either.
Wobbly, seat twisty camera, steady cam.
So you live and learn, and it's kind of embarrassing looking back at this, but also I think it's fair enough for a first attempt. The spelling error. And I even said that was a spelling error, and it's not. That's the guy's name who runs the company, Mr. Lettel. So making mistakes from the very start. But that wasn't my first ever video. Do you happen to remember what I did 12 years ago on this very channel.
Was it your prank calls?
Yeah, so let's have a quick look at one of those. It was called the Phony Files,
The P file.
not the X Files. And you might recognise the music as well, because all my music is old. That was around even then.
Pepsi Cola, good afternoon.
Pepsi
Good
Cola.
afternoon, is that Pepsi Cola?
Yes, it is.
Oh, right. Is it possible to make an order from there?
No, it's not. You need to ring Britvic.
Right, and do they deliver the pizza with it as well?
Sorry?
Do they deliver, like, the pizza with it as well?
Is that really you?
No. What exactly are you after?
I want to make an order for a pizza and a Pepsi.
I think you actually need to ring Pizza Hut.
Pizza Hut?
Yeah.
Have you got their number?
Well, we haven't got all the local listings of Pizza Huts. What area are you ringing from?
I'm in Edinburgh.
You're in Edinburgh?
Yeah.
And you wanted a pizza?
Yeah.
I don't think this is the right number for you to ring.
Have I got the wrong number?
Yeah, this is Pepsi Cola in Richmond. We're an administrative office here.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
I think it might be best to look in your...
Yes, so you get the general idea with that as well. Yeah, that's me kind of doing my hello. I'm just a regular bloke, you know, just calling up.
In Edinburgh?
Yeah. Well, I made that bit up towards the end of
I
the call.
can tell.
So that was Pepsi Cola head office in Richmond, where I'm from. But anyway,
That was very funny. That
Funny, right?
doesn't sound like you. How old? You said 12 years ago, so you were what, 15?
well, that's when I put the video out. But the tape recording was probably I was 18. Yeah, it's a Pepsi Cola. Anyway, let's open these. So we have got some celebratory.
Yeah.
These are actually party poppers. And then he said party potters.
This is a puppy popper.
It's Harry Potter's lesser known brother, Poppy Potter. Now, we should probably do one at a time, and one of us cover the dog's ears. What do you think? 'Cause they have got sensitive hearing.
Yeah, I'm afraid she's going to headbutt me, so I'm just saying this right now.
How does it work?
I have no idea.
I don't.
Are they
don't look
inside?
into it.
How to use. Pierce foil at the top of the popper, which you did not do.
I blew it already, literally.
Intended for outdoor use only.
And
Do
then
not
what?
use near carpet, painted, or finished surfaces. Twist the bottom clockwise.
Oh. This is it, folks. 100,000 subscribers. Covered?
Covered.
Woo! Yes. Oh, that's fun.
That is fun.
Bye. What is it? She's gone all around sniffing.
But
What is all that stuff? All right, celebrations are done, and it's time to move on to the first feature. Do you want to do both?
No, I don't.
Maybe we'll do it at, what, 1 million subscribers? What do you
Okay,
think?
sure.
What's the next plaque? I think is 1 million subscribers. isn't
Oh,
it?
I was just thinking like 150 or 200.
Yeah. Speaking of plaque, actually, before, not teeth-wise, but before we have isolated a spot right there for the 100,000 plaque, which is going to be on its way from YouTube themselves.
What if it's like this big when it comes?
And I'll move into a new studio. And if you snap your fingers, the light will come on to highlight where the plaque's going to go. Ready? Beautiful. Good job. Very practical. Thank you. Okay.
Should I turn it off?
Yeah, go on then. Still don't understand how half these things work in this studio. All right, on with the Retro Show.
The Retro Show.
That's it. Time to move on to old news.
Old news.
Now, sad news. Fries went out of business. Did you know about this?
Yes, every Fry's. I think it might just be like an American thing or even just a California thing, but every Fry's had a theme. And the one closest to me, which wasn't very close, was Alice in Wonderland themed. And you would come in and
cool.
it had a huge, Alice and the White Rabbit and just giant hedges and fountains. And I know that there was another one, I think the one in Burbank or something was space themed.
I didn't
it had
know
like
they had
aliens.
themes.
Yeah, it was very cool. Very cool.
So in England, we had Tandy. Who remembers Tandy stores? So we didn't have the Tandy computer so much. You guys had Tandy as a computer brand, ultimately. We had the Tandy store, which was like Fry's would sell chips and connectors.
I'm just laughing because Tandy just reminds me of, I think it was Last Man on Earth.
Oh yeah.
They called him Tandy because it was like his middle name or something. So I'm trying to take it seriously, but sorry.
I was laughing because maybe if fries had called themselves chips, they would have been more successful. But, do you get it?
No.
Because they sold you. Oh, you did.
Yeah.
I forget how smart she is. But it reminded me of another story. So a few years ago, Best Buy trademarked the Rumbelows name.
What is Rumbelows?
In the UK. Rumbelows is this store. Went out of business in the 90s.
See, Rumbelows sounds like something that happens to your stomach when you've had bad food.
Rumbles below. I think we'd call it Rumble below. But yeah, they did electronics, washing machines, and they sold computers. So you could go to Rumbelows to get your Commodore 64. What?
There's just a lot of hot air right in my face.
Well, maybe this story is hot air. But yeah, Best Buy, they bought the brand.
Being sneaky.
So if Best Buy were going to launch in the UK, the rumour was they would perhaps launch as Rumbelows coming back. It hasn't transpired yet, and I'm sure COVID set those plans back.
I can't imagine why.
Yeah, eons, but there it is. Now, we should mention our sponsor for this video, one of our sponsors, PCB Way! She's getting primed for that now. You know all about that.
She needed a duck right under.
Now, PCB Way, along with our supporters, are part of the reason that we made it to 100,000 subscribers and that we'll maybe make it to 1 million. So like the supporters, PCB Way provide financial help that really has enabled me to do this essentially instead of a full-time job.
Oh, this absolutely is your full-time job.
Do this as a full-time job.
Yeah.
So not only do they make great PCBs starting from just $5, I mean PCB Way, not our supporters, although some of them might make PCBs, but also I got this comment from Jonathan. Do you want to read this out?
My
this is kind of fun.
dude. I love that. I wonder
dude.
No, it's my dude.
My dude.
That's kind of like how guys would say like my love, like because dude is like bro.
That's
awesome.
very, very affectionate.
See?
I appreciate that. So yeah.
Love the content. I caught myself doing something at work today and I figured you might get a laugh. Once we're ready to take something into production, it typically goes to PCB Way!
PCB Way!
Which it turns out is how I've been referring to the company in my morning meetings for at least a solid week now.
You can just visualize Jonathan in his meetings being all serious. So I think we should get our, we need to order some new breadboards. We'll get those from PCB Way! Because as we all know, PCB Way stands for Periphractic Cheers Beside Wife Admiring You Tube. Doesn't it? Thank you, Jonathan, for sharing that story. In case you didn't notice, Puppy Fractic is wearing her Medal of Honor in honor of the 100,000. Now, the title sequence you just came out of, you didn't come out of it, we came out of it for the HomeBrews. That little Space Invaders game using the Retro Recipes logo was kindly created by Lee Volanti, who helped out with that International Space Station video. And we've got the Mission 64 badge in honor of that episode up there. But yes, so let's look at some homebrew games.
HomeBrews.
Old news. That's a different segment.
HomeBrews.
Now, before we do, I want to introduce the RR badge. I'm really excited about this. Puppy Fractic is wearing hers, as you may be able to see her modelling here. She's got this on her whistle, not this whistle. Keep this away from her. But whistle is the GPS fitness tracker that she wears. However, would you like to adorn your RR badge?
It's adornable.
That's adornable. Sounds like treats.
Okay.
So it comes with a little magnetic backing here.
Bye.
I'm going to put mine right here. And what the RR badge
It's
is...
a really strong magnet.
Yeah. Kind of like the Blue Peter badge. This goes to anybody who submits something that we use in the video. So homebrew games, beautiful. And what? You sound like, what's her name? Oh, Krut. What's her name?
Cardi B.
You sound like Cardi B.
It's hard to roll an R in that vowel.
Puppy Fractic's doing all the head tilts. And you're wearing it on your Cardi B as well. Okay. And this affords you entry to a small but growing list of retro computing museums around the world. I'm really proud to be partnering with some of those. If you go to perifractic.com/badge, you can see the list of who's participating in that. So, yeah, if you want to submit something as well, go to perifractic.com/submit.
What happens if they go to perifractic.com/badger? Badger.
We'll see what happens if you go there. Yeah. Oh, and by the way, Lee created the RR sprites using the same method as the famous Commodore balloon that came in the Commodore user guide. That you can program this little balloon sprite in BASIC.
So I actually know what that means because I took a computer video game programming class. When I used Pika 8 was the app that I used.
And it was the Pico, the little machine that you were programming
Pico 8. I mean, it was like 2 years ago. But I created a, what's that game called? The bouncy ball.
What was it? Arkanoid?
Yeah.
It's an Arkanoid clone. It was pretty cool.
Yeah.
Why don't we show that in the HomeBrews?
Okay.
Okay, here it is now. Wow, you're quite a talented programmer. She's so modest. So she has earned her RR badge. As you can see, I've got more than 4 of them.
He's got 5.
Ordered about 200 from China. So yeah, that's how you get your RR badge. And the first person getting their RR badge is Gaz Marshall. So Gaz has created Magenta Jim for the ZX Spectrum and ZX Spectrum Next, of course. And he says, with COVID, I found myself with a lot of time to spare, so I decided I was going to try and make a game. First game was called Magenta Gym, and it started off as a ladders and levels kind of game. And he tweeted that, well, I'll put it in his words. I tweeted what I had, and the community had given some feedback in its development. Some suggestions from the community was the enemies should have AI, which was okay, but made it a lot harder. So I decided that they needed to be on a fixed path to make the player think in patterns and remember them, which I much prefer. And the music was composed by Riggs Solo, which is a fantastic beeper tune, which you can hear right now. So this game was released by Bitmapsoft back in November. Now we want to talk about Otis!
Otis! Otis is a really great way to get involved in investments in an alternative way. You invest in collectibles such as Super Mario Brothers game, Zelda 2, or a personal favorite, Super Mario 3.
So here's Super Mario Brothers 3. So this is an example of something that you could invest in. You could buy a share for $1, for example. And then the idea is
you can either buy or sell your shares amongst Otis members, or when the item sells, you could potentially make a profit if it sells at a higher rate than you invested.
So it's like investing in any kind of stock or share or company, but this time with retro video games. And I see some Nike mags on the screen there as well, a bit like my ones that Puppy Fractic chewed.
She did.
They're right over there.
They were delicious.
Yeah. Check out the link in the description and you'll get your first share free when you fund your account.
Terms apply.
Otis!
Otis!
Otis. Now, we should move on to some nostalgia flakes. You don't have to move.
I went to go get the flakes.
Thank you. Now, if your item wasn't featured and you did send something in already, fear not. I probably loved it a lot, but we're running out of time and space. Oh, that sounds ethereal. Time and space.
Reminds me of a TARDIS.
Exactly. You hear that too.
I do love the doctor.
Yeah. Doctor?
The doctor.
Oh, there we
I
go.
love the doctor.
There we go. But yes, if you want to send in stuff for a future Respode, reminder, retrospective.com/submit. She did the slash inside me. Thank you. You're a good girl. Now we should move on to some delicious, tasty bowl of nostalgia flakes. And first up, look at this little puppy.
Who is that?
So Ross Warsdale has sent in a picture of their dog, Sophie. Sophie is a Belgian Shepherd, Jack Russell, and their son, Roman, is here. And they couldn't help but notice the similarity. The puppy Fractic. That's you.
Oh my god.
So that's a Belgian Shepherd, Jack Russell, and Puppy Fractic is a Great Pyrenees German Shepherd mix. You've got a Great Pyrenees, yeah. But adorable. I could look at that photo
You
all
can
day.
see the little tails wagging too, because it's blurry.
Almost like a live photo. So thanks for sending that in. So next up, this is Layla, and her dad has sent in this video of her coding some Petsky graphics, and she's created a whole story behind it. So let's have a listen.
The tail leads to making the letter, and the letter shows errors to go to the mailbox. And as you know, she's planning to whack him.
To what? Whack the snake?
Yeah, whack him.
Oh.
It's a bit
'Cause
violent.
she's cool.
Layla?
Moo-ha-ha.
But then, in the end, she lost him back.
Little heart appears. Now, I used to create Petsky art back on my Commodore 64. I'd save these masterpieces to disk, and then when we gave away my computer, I just gave away all my discs. I'm so sad. I made a whole mock-up of my dad's home office to work from home, all in Petsky. So it is so nostalgic and lovely seeing kids still doing that on computers that I was using when I was 12.
Can I just say,
Yes.
this is my Petsky.
Oh, you're such a good Petsky. She says I get a kiss now? There you go. From that to this is Nathan Wolf's kids. Now, this is a sticker project. Now, can you guess what this talk that she's giving in school is all about, and who the sticker project figures are? You don't have to guess. It's Perry Fractic and Lady Fractic. So on certain Patreon tiers, you get a Retro Recipe sticker, which features both of our beautiful faces, ugly faces, Oliver Frey style. You can see that Lady Fractic's one has merged and moved conveniently over to there, as if by magic. So they got this sticker, and they were very taken by them. Thank you, Nathan, for sending that in. They did a whole.
Puppy Fractic, that's you on a shirt. That's you.
That is her. They did a whole sticker project and talk at school. We'll let her escape for a few minutes.
Yeah, go back for a second. I just want to see what She's so proud.
Yeah.
I love that.
And speaking of Nathan, at Christmas, he won his local town's contest for the best Christmas decorations. And his little live stream they did, it kept breaking up.
Year's first place winner of the first annual outside free maple in the
Give him his
city
whole
of.
address. Can you recognize the song that he's timed his lights to?
I think the judges like this house because of the musical light show. If you can drive by it, you can tune your radio in to 87.7 FM,
You can't drive now. It's
and you
not
can
us anymore.
use it. Let's go see if the wolves are home. Nathan, how are you?
Wonderful, Mr. Peters. How are you?
So Nathan, you are the first annual winner.
This is my open source Linux-powered Christmas lights. It all runs on free software. So there's some 9,000 nodes that are actually programmable on my house. Yeah, this song here is called Frozen Memories. And it's kind of a song that leads us to be about like nostalgia and looking back in time and having those memories thaw on you. These candy canes that turn like little flames.
It was a real honor to think that one of my songs was playing and illuminating Nathan's house through Christmas. So cool. Wow. So I think we are running out of time, so we should just skip to the final look at I See What You Mean. First up.
We're lucky COVID happened in 2020. Imagine this happened in 2003. Months in your house with a Nokia 3310 playing Moving Snake.
He makes a good point. Now, speaking of Snake, so back in about 2003? Probably. Actually, probably. I invented with a friend the Snake Bite joystick for Nokia phones. So this was something you could clip it over the keypad of the old Nokia phones.
3310?
And including 3310, 3210, 7110, and the Series 5 and 6. And it would enable you to break the score barrier on Snake.
If you can, then you're going to win an accessory for your phone. It's a joystick for playing games on your mobile. It's available from ismo.co.uk and will be available in the shops from next month. I've got it down here. This is the joystick. You actually want one of these, don't you? You do. She really, really wants one. Can you tell us what this says?
No, she couldn't. See you later, love. It's kind of weird to me that I now do a channel about retro gaming, but without realizing it, I was a teeny tiny part of kind of retro gaming.
So I think
history.
The whole reason that you made this channel so that one day you could bring this up and be like, look what I made.
No, I didn't at all. But yeah, as I mentioned, I made this. Very cool. I thought I'd show you that because it's funny how things come around. Yeah.
Yes.
Now you're a fan of the Commodores.
I love disco, okay? I make him listen to disco. I love it.
It's always on in the car.
It is always on in the car. And the Commodores wrote Brick House. She's a brick house.
I don't know that one.
You actually should have put if you ever remake this meme,
I didn't make it.
Put the Brixty 4 in there.
She's a Brixty house.
She's a Brixty house. Anyway, she's to mine. Anyway, I love disco, so this, I enjoyed this very much.
Very cool. And he's even got, he's kind of doing it like this.
Yeah, it's very clever. Whoever did this did a pretty decent job with the Photoshop. And we've got Mr. Lionel Richie.
That's it, of course.
Yeah.
And it was rumored, and I remember researching this at the time, that they used a Commodore somehow in the studio. I don't remember if it was an Amiga or a 64 or what or how they used it. But of course, now we make music on the SID chip on the Commodore 64.
So nothing has changed.
Nothing, literally, as I keep saying, like, it's funny how things come around.
Maybe that's why I like disco and I like your music so much, is because they really do sound so similar.
Yeah, it's that 80s, 70s, late 70s vibe.
I love it.
So, dude sounds like Luigi when he fell. I love the song too.
I'm currently playing Super Mario World 3D, and you get to play as Luigi. And I've played Luigi's Mansion and such, but this is so funny. I think it was just like playing earlier today too.
Yeah, love it. Now this isn't a meme, but Matthew Ashton shared this with me, and I thought this was just incredible. So he was filling up at a gas station listening to music, and upon upon getting into the car, he put on "This Is What," which is one of my songs, one I made in the 90s, 2000s, the noughties. And he drove to the stadium where he was going, to the gate entrance to have his temperature checked for COVID, normal practice. Whilst the chap was checking his credentials against his list, a girl said,
"What's that music? I know it. I know it."
The chap looked at the girl with puzzled eyes. I could only see his eyes. He had a face mask on and a big hood. It gets very descriptive there like that. The girl closed her eyes for a second or two, then said,
"Retro recipes."
I said, "Yes." She then said enthusiastically,
"When I go to the hairdressers again, I want my hair like Lady Fractic."
You know, they say you know you've made it when you get an action figure.
Oh.
Have you heard that saying?
No, but I would like an action figure.
But to think that two unrelated people recognize the song from the channel.
Yeah.
That just blew my mind. I love that.
I just know it's coming because I'm already laughing. Oh, hello.
Now look at this. Puppy Fractic loves her whistle. This is how you actually get a dog to play a whistle. Now I thought we might try it with the pupper.
I don't think she'll let us hold her nose shut, but we'll try.
We're going to try it. Let's get a treat up there. Upsies. Good girl. There's your treat. Bribery gets you everywhere.
I feel like this is like a service dog. He's so good about just...
Golden Retrievers are always so good. Do you want to hold the nose?
I'll hold the...
Okay. So we've got to get this in the mouth. Wait.
She has no interest.
She's not happy with it.
Yeah, this dog is just like...
She's had to contend with party poppers and all sorts today. But that is how you make a dog whistle in real life. So this next one, I thought this might be fun for us to just try. It's not retro related at all.
Okay.
Ignore what's on the screen. We won't even look at that. But just follow the directions, okay? You ready?
Yeah.
Okay.
Smile, but not with your eyes. Then drop the smile and raise your eyebrows. Now smile again, but only with your eyes. Stick out your bottom lip a tad. Then smile with your eyes and your mouth, but not your forehead. Then go smile, but not with your eyes.
I did not do it correctly.
Try again. Okay, and then hold it to the end. I want to see your face. Ready?
I'm going to look because I don't know what she means half the time.
Smile, but not with your eyes. Then drop the smile and raise your eyebrows. Now smile again, but only with your eyes. Stick out your bottom lip a tad. Then smile with your eyes and your mouth, but not your forehead. Then go smile, but...
That's painful.
But I can't help smiling now because I'm laughing. In the I'm getting old department, the kids saw this and said, "Oh, you 3D printed the save icon."
Ugh.
This is brutal, says Bill.
Ouch.
I've seen another version of this where a kid said, "Oh, you 3D printed the emoji," because it's an emoji as well.
Oh.
You never,
yeah.
I guess you probably wouldn't have typed disc into the emoji search. I use it all the time.
I never have. I'm sorry.
And that is it for the Retro Show for episode 1.
Retro Show.
I just want to thank you guys for watching, for getting us to 100,000. And I hope you've enjoyed us trying to give a little bit back. We'll be back probably in about a month with another Retro Show.
Sounds good to me.
In between, we'll always do those retro recipes that you know and love. Until then, just remains for us to say thanks for watching, subscribe and support below, and...
Cheerio!
Cheerio!
Can you go up that high?
Otis!
And then put your hand up.
Now we have to talk about...
Otis! Wait, how is that different in British than in American?
Otis!
Otis.
Because it's like a D. Otis. Otis.
Otis. Is it a British company or an American company?
I think they're American.
So it's Otis.
Okay, you win.